Can you beat +1 speed keyboard escape without jumping? +1 speed keyboard escape is a Roblox game where you need to train your speed up so you can beat harder and harder stages. And because of the way stages are made, you may have to jump to progress in some of them. But what if you are not allowed to jump at all? Would it be possible to even beat the game? Let's find out. Before getting into the challenge, I have a few rules to clarify. First, I'll start at max speed instead of starting over on a new account. Second, I'm allowed to change my current speed to something more lower to make it easier to control myself. Third, as long as I don't click spacebar, I won't count it as a jump, so I can simply just bounce off anything or slide off anything and I'll never count it as a jump. And lastly, I am not allowed to skip the level because obviously that will be ruining the point of this video. And also, if you happen to enjoy this video, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. It supports me and helps me in my journey to make better videos. But with all of that out of the way, let's start the challenge. So starting out with stage 1, we are already in trouble because there are gaps in the platform. So there's definitely no way I can pass through these. Except I think everyone already knows that you can run through stage 1 with enough speed. So I kinda made it more dramatic for no reason. Well anyways, after running through stage 2 and avoiding the pink boulder in stage 3, you'll come to the next obstacle in our no jumping challenge. For stage 4, you'll realize that there are gaps in the platform, but thankfully, we already know that we can run through them with enough speed. So by carefully navigating, we can slowly make our way to stage 5. This stage took me a few attempts because I was not careful enough, but I still beat it in the end. The next few stages are all easy because they do not involve jumping at all. However, everything changes when we come to stage 9. Unlike stage 1 and stage 4, stage 9 is significantly bigger than the both of them. This is a problem because the gaps between platforms are bigger, but thankfully for us, there are slopes on the stage. By using the bonus height you gain from the slopes, you are able to run off to the next platform without jumping. While this works with first view, you'll still come to realize that one of these platforms are completely flat, which means you don't have a slope to help you get to the next platform. So is this where the run truly ends? Well, not really. You see, because the game is made with R15 avatars rather than the R6 avatars, you have opportunities to do some more bug movements depending on how you land. I don't really know how to explain this mechanic, but it's Roblox. It's always broken in some way. Anyways, by using this mechanic, you are able to knock yourself onto certain parts of the platform to give you a jump boost or launching yourself across the platform, which is the reason why this challenge is still possible so far. It may look like I'm jumping, but no, it's just how broken R15 is in Roblox. And if you really need a more trustable YouTuber to look for proof that this is possible, then Dooley himself already made his own attempt at this challenge, but there are some things that I need to point out later. After that, the next stage is so much easier because it doesn't involve jumping. However, things just got a lot worse for the one after it. Welcome to stage 11. As if stage 9 isn't bad enough, we get an even harder obby. And this time, the first jump is already a potential run killer for the challenge. Because there are no slopes or anything else around here, you can't possibly get enough height to get across without jumping. This is the point where Dooley himself had to skip the level because he can't pass stage 11 without jumping, which is completely true. Even another content creator by the name of Blocks had to jump just so he can get past stage 11. But I think for Dooley's case, it's just more sad because he made his video too early, at a time where a specific feature hasn't existed yet. As for what I want to point out, if you look closely in this video, you can see that he does not have the treadmill feature. But now you might be asking, how does the treadmill actually help you on this? Well, let me explain. By placing a treadmill on a specific location, you can then launch yourself upwards after running into it, which can get you to the top platform without jumping. Because of this, we finally have more options available to us. From this position, you might think that we still have to jump, but because of the fact that you can fly a bit after getting off the ladder part, you can use the height you get to go to a more higher platform. After that, you can drop down to the low part of the stage. When I get on the ladder, I'm able to fly out higher to this platform, which will bring me to the end of stage 11. That was honestly a bit complicated, but the no jump challenge is still going on. After navigating the clearly easy maze in stage 12, we then come across a bunch of clouds, in the shape of clouds. Stage 12 equips us with the wings, which gives us a jump boost when we jump, but sadly, we are not allowed to jump, so we have to find another way. The treadmill also doesn't help much because the clouds are not a safe zone. So what can we do exactly? Thankfully, because the clouds are not flat, we are able to run around the clouds in a certain way. This allows us to launch ourselves. Some of the time it will launch you a bit, but we are waiting for the time when it launches us very high. When it does, we can use the height that we got to go to the next cloud. We basically repeat this until we make it to the end and go on to stage 14. Stage 14 is easy because it doesn't involve jumping, and we make it to the final stage of Road 1. We are now at stage 15 and we still haven't needed to actually jump once, but this is the hardest stage of them all. While you don't have to jump in the maze and the boulder part, the main problem of the challenge is the obby part at the beginning. For now, let's calculate the total jumps. If you had to jump for every platform, you would need at least 7 jumps in total. But I'm sure we can narrow it down. Starting from the fact that you don't have to jump at the end to go down the hole, and I have also consistently been able to bounce from the first platform, but that only narrows down to 5. Because of the way the stage looks, it is almost impossible to do any movement because the platforms are small, which means you don't have a lot of room to build a speed momentum. And to make matters even worse, the boss basically makes that you must go immediately and cannot wait to adjust your angle and movements, which makes for your angle to be weird sometimes. I spend hours on this. All the fails from me not bouncing on platforms, and all the times I just can't get the angle correctly. This is very difficult. Even though I clearly know what to do, trying to make me bounce a lot of times in a row is easier said than done. It was so tiring to the point I even jumped so I can specifically get past the jumps that I've proven is doable without jumping so I can get to the next part. But in one of my attempts, a miracle happened. As you can see, I managed to get to the end without jumping at all. While I did jump at the beginning, that was because I wanted to test if the later half of the obby is doable without jumping. And do keep in mind, my character spins when I jump because I'm using the popular animation pack. While for the falling animation, it is just a fall I guess. And looking closely in the video, I never spin at all for the later half of the obby. So everything I did in the later half of the obby is completely legitimate and done without jumping. But now we have to complete the early parts without jumping. At this point, I was clearly tired when I had to do more attempts, but I was feeling determined, because completing World 1 without jumping actually might be possible. So after a lot more attempts, I finally got one of my runs to look like this. While I did die, it was because my character didn't bounce at that time, but that's besides the point. Getting to this part without jumping is really important because of a certain OP trick. Because I recently discovered a trick that you can stand on the U key in this corner so the boss cannot kill you. When the boss is not here anymore, I can then spin in a certain angle to bounce and get onto the next platform. And when you combine the clips together, it will look something like this. First, I run through and hope I can bounce to the platform. And then I perform the spin trick to get onto the next platform. And afterwards, I just hope that my character decides to bounce and get to the end of the obby. And as long as I don't get stuck at the end, beating stage 15 is possible because the boulder and the maze part are irrelevant in the no jumping challenge. So to answer the question, is it possible to beat +1 speed keyboard escape without jumping? Yes, but it is luck dependent. While I did prove that all the jumps are possible to be done individually without jumping, trying to complete the entire stage 15 in one go is a different story. You will have to hope for luck that your character decides to fly or bounce instead of just falling, which I still couldn't do consistently. I would like to do it personally, but I have spent far too long on this and I even have my own life to worry about too. But maybe I'll find time to try to complete it myself. But anyways, that is the end of the video for now. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.